Hey there, YouTube. So this is just going to be a quick video demonstrating or showing off my shield press and how to use it, basically. My shield press design is based on instructions at yieldgaffer.com. I'll link that in the description. So this is my shield press. It's a little different from the one they give instructions for on Yield Gaffer, because I wanted to make some changes to it. First is, so this is the platform and they show you how to make that, but I've got longer legs. I think they have little like blocks on the side, and that's to lift it up, and I'll get into that later. The next thing, they use wood in 1x3, and here I've got steel because the 1x3s I kept using kept breaking just from the sheer force applied to it. I also have to double check, but I'm pretty sure the segment is different from the one that they use because I wanted more of a deep curve. I have to double check that actually. But one important thing when you're making your shield press is that you want to make your curve more severe than you want your actual curve, because when you bend it, it has a tendency to like loosen up a little bit, or to releases itself a little bit. So for the press, I've got 2 sheets of 1/4-inch plywood. I'm pretty sure this one is birch. I don't know what this one is because it was a salvage from another project. So I've already drawn out, so this is 2 by, I believe this is 3 feet. I've drawn out the center line so that I can take my pattern here. I'm going to lay down the line here, and I'm going to draw it out, and then I'm going to flip it, and I'm going to draw it out again on the same line, because nobody cuts anything out perfect the first time, and it just gives me as options as far as my final cutting out design. So I'm going to line it up, trace it out. Okay, got that all drawn out. Now I'm going to dust it off because obviously it's a little dusty. Now the reason I'm not drawing out, I've obviously got it cut out, but the reason I'm not drawing out the tree is because I don't need it for this project. So, moving on. So when choosing your front, it doesn't really matter. You can see there's like paint and gnarliness all over this. It doesn't really matter because I'm going to sand this down after anyway, so it's going to take most of that off. But when you choose your back, yeah, so you have this nice, frame instead of like this where it's got knots, it's less pretty, basically. So choosing your back is a little more important than choosing your front in this case. Okay, then I'm going to take it over to the press and show you how that works. Okay, so we got the press, we got our boards. Don't worry about this. This is for another project. I'm going to put them both in at the same time. So basically what's going to happen is I'm going to paint glue this big old bucket. I'm going to take this glue, I'm going to kind of slather it over, well, both of them, and then I'm going to lock that into this little channel where the metal is. Now, I might have to take some strips and put it in like that just to give it a little bit of a stronger hold. Then I'm going to take these heavy duty ratchet straps and I'm going to strap it down. Now these ones are like the heaviest, dutiest ones that I could find, because all of the other ones, the ones that were like $15 for 4 or something, all broke eventually, surprisingly. So I invested in a good heavy duty set, and I recommend it if you're going to do this frequently. So let's get to it. Okay, so now I've taken these 1x3s here, and as I ratchet them down, I'm going to spread it out. And what these are going to do is going to make sure that the pressure is spread out over the whole thing instead of just at the points where the ratchet straps are. And this one I made specifically, it's a little bust up now, but this one I made specifically to sit on this edge right here so that the pressure, so it has something to push down on the edge, to carry that, for the same reason. Okay, so now I leave it in the press for about a day. I know I have to do that, but that's my preference. I'd rather it not all explode if I pull it out too early. So we'll be back when I pull it out. So it's been, a couple days, just because I haven't been able to get back to this. So I'm gonna pop this open, and there are better ways to do this, but I find this easy, and it's probably bad for my ratchet straps, so I don't recommend it, but it's easy and it works for me, so. Okay, so our formerly flat PVC is nice and curved. Got a nice curve. I blew that on my plywood here, so I took it off, but that's okay because we've got this much That's where my line is. So about there on my finger, about there, and won't be on the back of the shield, which is what we want. So I'll finish up the shield for a different video, but this was displaying and demonstrating how my shield press works. Well, how shield presses work, I guess. So the design was taken from eGoldGaffer.com. I'll link that in the description below. And yeah, so like and subscribe. If you have any questions, let me know. If you have any suggestions, let me know. Otherwise, stay tuned for more.